worn face followed me, shuffling a few feet behind me and just over my shoulder. Over the years, every time I saw a book by him or about him, it snagged my attention. I stopped, leafed through it, and more often than not, ended up buying it and taking it home with me. The pictures were mesmerizing. Him hand-feeding a pelican perched outside his hut, him examining an African with a protruding stomach, him directing the building of an addition to the hospital, doing much of the hard labor himself, him handwriting letters at the end of his day, a kitten curled near his hand, him folded over an old piano, playing Bach at night, his fatigued frame and arthritic fingers somehow enlivened by the music. Him. Who was he, this mysterious collection of mesmerizing images? Who was this man whose place in European academia was so secure? He had 3 doctorates, 3, in philosophy, theology, and medicine. He was also a well-respected author. On top of that, he was a concert organist and a world authority on Bach. Yet he left that ivory-towered world with its promises of fame and fortune, and he buried himself in the dark and dangerous jungles of Africa for a sweltering life of service to poor and needy people. Why? That is the mystery of his life, the mystery that haunted me that night in the library, and haunts me still. Chapter 1. The Tolling of the Bell at Lambaréné. As soon as man does not take his existence for granted, but beholds it as something unfathomably mysterious, thought begins. Albert Schweitzer. September 5, 1965. At 5:30 on a slow-stirring Sunday morning, the bell at the hospital in Lambaréné tolled. Soon the bell at the leper colony down the road joined it. Then tom-toms from surrounding villages relayed the sad news to the distant reaches of the jungle, "Papa, poor nous, is dead." The affectionate term was French for the fatherly doctor who had lived among the people of Gabon for the past 50 years, serving them with tireless devotion. Albert Schweitzer, le grand docteur, had died quietly in his bed at 10:30 the night before, surrounded by a small circle of friends and co-workers, among them his daughter, Raina. Because the hour was late, it was decided to wait until morning to spread the news. Now it was morning, and the news spread from village to village until the normally teeming jungle seemed one long, heavy sigh. Bare trails that crisscrossed and weaved as they branched off between an endless number of villages in West Gabon began to fill with people. Individuals, couples, and families from various tribes of diverse backgrounds and a great range of ages made their way toward the small riverside town of Lambaréné. For some of those who gathered at his grave, their lives had begun at the Schweitzer Hospital. Others' lives had been saved, or the life of a parent or a child or spouse through a timely operation and dedicated care. Some had received care for tumors, leprosy, ulcers, or life-threatening wounds. Now they gathered to sing, dance, and express grief in their own way to honor one who had honored them through the tireless devotion he had given for half a century. They were joined in one purpose, mourning the death of one whose selfless service had helped countless people in their region, the one who had committed to make his life his greatest sermon. Chapter 2. First Glimpses of a Foreign Shore. The deeper we look into nature, the more we recognize that it is full of life, and the more profoundly we know that all life is a secret, and we are all united to all this life. Albert Schweitzer. March 26, 1913. Bells tolled from the church in the Alsatian village of Gunsbach on a spring afternoon. 38-year-old Albert Schweitzer and his wife Helene stood in the sun-drenched station waiting for the train that would take them to their destiny. A crowd of family and friends waited with them. The bells belonged to the Lutheran church that Albert attended as a child, where his father Louis served as pastor, and his mother Adele Schillinger Schweitzer served faithfully by his side. 30 years ago, those same bells rang at the same time of the year, also shortly before Easter.